Hey Facebook friends, I've been asked a couple times to take some of you along on my little journey here of trying to attempt to be a beekeeper. A lot of what people see when they think of honeybees, they think of honey and they think about, going to the store, and don't ever do that. Go to a local beekeeper or farmer's market and get your honey. A lot of people think about honey and they think about, you just sort of take the honey out of the hive and then you got to, put it in a bottle and that's all you do. And so some of you have been wanting me to sort of take you on this little journey through being a beekeeper and sort of the things that I do. Now there's a gazillion ways to keep bees. There's a million different ways to do different things. And I'm just going to do what I do. I'll show you what I do. There's a lot of different ways to do things, a lot of different equipment to use and things like that. So what I'm going to attempt to do this spring and summer is periodically just go ahead and show you sort of what a beekeeper has to go through in order for them to go from beginning of the season to the end of the season, and what happens for them to be able to produce honey for you. And some people are like, well, raw honey is expensive. Well, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into producing honey. It's the bees, it's the equipment, it's the hours, it's the labor, there's a lot that goes in to get that little bottle of honey on the shelf for you to buy. So what I'm going to do, I think a little bit here in the spring and summer, is just make a periodic video of what beekeepers do and some of the things that we do to get ready, and then hopefully you'll enjoy it. One of the things that I've been working on lately is my nuke boxes and my swarm traps and things like that, just getting things ready to make splits. I'll have to get these painted, and so there's a lot of equipment that goes along with trying to keep bees, and it takes you sometimes a lot of years to accumulate the what you need. It's not a cheap hobby, although I am cheap and I try to make my own stuff a lot of the times. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you how I put frames together. A frame is basically something that we put foundation or wax in for the bees to build on. So today I'm just going to take you through a little bit of, since it's nasty outside, it's supposed to snow tomorrow night, just some of the stuff the beekeepers behind the scenes do to get ready. So here in a little bit I will show you how I put my frames together. Okay, I'm going to start. Got a little frame jig here that I redneck engineered. It helps me make about 9 or 10 frames at a time, so you don't have to do it each individually. The frame will look like this. This is a deep frame. It's what we use, and then this is a medium frame that we use in our honey supers. And you can see there's a little bit of a difference in the height of these. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do to make some frames. Basically what I do is I start and I put the side rails in my jig. And it's easier to do a lot of the time instead of trying to do one at a time. That would take forever. So there's a lot of other ways to do this, a lot of different designs out there you can use. But this is what I use, and this is what I do. So basically I get them all in here, and then I give it a little bit of a glue down through here so it'll stick. And then I take my top rail. Notice it's got a little groove here, and I'll just stick these down in here like so. And usually for a deep box, if you're driving around the countryside and you see these bee boxes, a lot of them are 8 frame to 10 frame. Most people use 10 frame deeps. That's the boxes that you see. And the deep is usually where people want their brood, their nest where the queen lays and things like that. So there's 10 of those to a deep, or 8, depends on what equipment is being used. And so if you have 2 deeps sitting on some bricks, you're driving around on a Sunday afternoon, you'll see that's 20 frames in those 2 deeps. So basically I get that done, and then I nail them with staples. The glue helps hold it together, gives a little bit of extra holding power. And if things go well with my little jig here, you know what I do? Flip it over, put some glue in the bottom for the bottom rails. Boom, boom, boom. And here's the bottom rail. It's a lot smaller. You see, mine has a little ridge, a little cut in it. I put foundation in those. Some people just use beeswax. Some people use little top bars, and the bees build on those. We like foundation. We haven't had any problem with those. We can't do cut comb honey with that, which some people have asked for. So I might try that a little bit this year. But so as you can see, there's a lot that goes into trying to get the bees to do their thing. It's not just going out and taking a jar and sticking it under a hive or extracting like maybe you've seen in some videos. So beekeeper, what they'll do in the wintertime when the weather's nasty, they'll build boxes, they'll put frames together, they'll clean out frames. And so there's a lot you can do in the wintertime to get ready for the spring. Because once spring hits, you better be ready. Swarms are happening, cutouts are happening, splits need to take place. You're buying packages and all kinds of different things to be ready. So you need to be ready or you're going to get behind. All right, these are about ready to go. Staple one more time. All right, pull my boards out, set them off to the side, and then just sort of knock these down through here. Hopefully I can do that without breaking any. So, there you go. You have 9 frames that are ready to go, and I'll go put these on my rack. And one of the things I'll show you real quick, what we do, what Brad and I do, is we actually use foundation. This has got wax coating. You might be able to see some of the wax on there. And so what we do is we usually just put these in the grooves, like so, and you can probably hear them just snap in place, and then the bees will actually build wax on these frames. We use black because when the comb is drawn out, you can see the eggs up against the black a lot better than white. And then the white we'll use for the mediums to build honey on. Some people use a wax sheet like this of beeswax with wires, and they put them in there. We don't do that. It's a little easier for us just to use the wax. So what we'll do is we will take these frames, just take a few of them, and we're in my garage, and what I do is I make them and I put them on a rack so that I'm ready to go. I really want to be ready to go when springtime comes. It's important to have things ready to go, or you will find yourself, it's hard to do this one-handed, you'll find yourself being behind, and if somebody calls for a swarm and you're not ready, somebody else will get it, or the swarm will leave. And so you have a lot of equipment that goes with the bees. Hopefully that was beneficial, and hey, we'll spend some time with each other this spring. Take care.